Hello, welcome back. Good to see you all again. Happy New Year. Hope you're ready to do some chord practicing with me in this session. Today we're going to cover the Girl from Ipanema drop 2 chord voicings. Please type in the chat who's here so I know, and it'd be great to see your names again. It's been a little bit of some time. Hope you all had a great holiday. Wherever you happen to be, feel free to type where you're located also. So there's a PDF that's for free. If you want to grab it, it just goes through the drop 2 chord voicings on the top 4 strings, which is the place you always want to start when learning jazz guitar chord melodies. Learn the top 4 strings. Hey, CR, good to see you. It's been a while, indeed. All right, so yeah, grab your guitar. Let's get started, you guys. We'll skip the roll call today, but it'd be nice to see some familiar faces or familiar names rather. So I always start with this routine. I have all my students do this with me. So, and this is all on the PDF. I'm just going to go through it. G major 7, root on top, G major 7, G dominant 7, G minor 7, G minor 7 flat 5, G dim 7. Okay. We could do the 6s as well. G major 7, G major 6, G minor 7, and G minor 6. So, just take note. If you don't know this, then definitely work on this, what I call the routine for the drop 2 chord inversions on the top 4 strings. That's with the root on top. Then we go to the next inversion with a 3rd on top. G major 7, G dominant 7, G minor 7, G minor 7 flat 5, G dim 7, G major 7, G major 6, G minor 7, and G minor 6. Okay, just do this with me. We're going to do the next one. G major 7, G dominant 7. This is the 5th on top. G minor 7, G minor 7 flat the 5th, G dim 7. Go back to that major 7, and now we're going to go to G6. And then G minor 7 and G minor 6. One more. You guys are doing awesome. G major 7, G dominant. So this is the 7 on top. So you got the S sharp. Flat the 7, G minor 7, minor 7 flat 5. Always say the names too, and dim 7. And of course, notice the dim 7, that's the only one where it's the same shape for each inversion. The only one, okay? Wouldn't it be nice if you could just slide it around one shape each time, not have to think about the different shapes? It would be. So G diminished 7. Now we got to go back to G major 7 and G6. Okay, this is all documented in my, if you're on Patreon, I've got sound slice practice videos, and on YouTube as well, where you can do this with me and the music comes up on the screen and the grids and stuff too. G minor 7 and G minor 6. Okay, so the other way to practice it, besides just doing the routine, is just to literally go through, laterally practicing G major 7, G major 7, G major 7, G major 7. Just go through the 4 inversions. G dominant 7, root on top, dominant 7, 3rd, 5th on top, flat 7. And this really requires that you know your notes, your arpeggio. Okay, I mean, I like to say there's an easy way to do it, but as you do it more, of course, you'll get these shapes down. But you got to also know some theory, like what are the 4 notes of the chord? G minor 7, G, B flat, D, F. G minor 7, the root on top, 3rd on top, 5th on top, and the flat 7 on top. G half diminished, G minor 7 flat 5, that is. And this can also be called B flat minor 6 later. And then later on, we'll substitute a dominant 9th chord and use this shape, if you know what I'm saying. And we'll do that with, well, I've already done that with my Girl From Ipanema studies that many of you have been enjoying on Patreon. And by the way, if you haven't already joined Patreon, of course, please join my online music community where I have all of this materials, lessons, and it's all documented already. But that's why I'm kind of cruising through this stuff. So again, this is G half diminished, G half diminished, G half diminished, and then G half diminished up here. Let's see, where are we at here? Right here. And then the dim 7, as I mentioned, is the same. And that's the one that Pat Martino calls automatic. It's so easy to do on the guitar. Once you know that formation, you just slide it around every 3 frets. Let's see who else is here. Don't forget, if you enjoy these live streams, to do this, because that way I know it's worth the time to do it. Okay, so what I want to do now is what I recommend that you do from there, if you're still just kind of memorizing those shapes, is just like put on a vamp, a backing track, and just stay on one chord for a while and just move it around freely. I mean, that's ultimately what we're going to do today with the changes to the Girl from Ipanema, which is the bossa nova classic to know. Beautiful song. Plus, the A section is also, take the A train exactly like you. So many jazz standards use that common A section chord pattern. So, any questions so far? I'm just going to jump right into it. That was hopefully a quick review for you going through the inversion drop two routine. Just a word on drop two voicings. That just means you take the second to the top note on a closed voicing and put it on the bottom. So if you had a G major 7, that was like this: G, F sharp, B, or G, F sharp, D, B. That would be the closed voicing in order. It's easy to do on a piano, but it's impossible to do on the guitar almost. I mean, you have to play it like this and stretch. So we just do this. It's easier. So that's all a drop two voicing is. And just memorize these shapes, okay? You don't get too caught up in the technical terms. So now let's go ahead and talk about the Girl from Ipanema and applying this. And this is what I love to do, is apply these chord shapes and inversions. So we could do some comping, melodic comping, chord exploring. These are just some of the terms I call it, the chord melody. Okay, so you got F major 7, right? I won't sing it, don't worry. G7, this is the basic chord. G minor 7, G flat 7. These are all just basic 7th chords. Don't worry about the flat 5. I know you want to do that probably if you know the song. And then back to G flat 7. So we have F major 7, G7. These are basic 7th chords for the Girl from Ipanema. Minor 7, dominant 7, G flat 7. And I hope you know this. Again, grab my PDFs and stuff. I'm going to write this down as well. So that's your A section. So what I would recommend that you do, and I'm going to do this here in a second, is to go to why I like to use sound slice, and I'm going to jot it all down for you. F major 7, F major 7, F major 7, F major 7, and just go through these inversions. Face value: G7, 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 G minor 7, G minor 7, G flat 7, F major 7, G flat 7. Okay, so I'm not sure where you all at with that, but if you don't know this, if you've already got the routine down and you're wondering how do I apply it, this is where you do it. And I have studies already on Patreon, of course, for many songs. I would start also with the blues. I would start with minor swing if you're into that style. I've got Fly Me to the Moon, Autumn Leaves, of course, and lots of chord melodies that use these shapes. So that's what you're going to want to do. Let me go ahead and get to the share screen here so we can get started on this process. CR, you're the only one here, it looks like. I hope some others tune in. I'll just keep going and hopefully some others will chime in. So if you guys are here, please type in the comments. It would be great to see you. If you're watching on Patreon, by the way, don't forget, I don't know that you're watching it, so you have to actually click on the YouTube part to take you to YouTube, and that's the only way I'll know that you guys are here. Hey, Tom, welcome back. Good to see you, bud. So share. Here's sound slice. I'm just going to do this really super fast. Bam, 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 bam. 8 bars. We've got F major 7. I think I'm just going to do half notes for the F major 7. And yeah, we're in the key of F for this version. This is the fake book standard key. So let's just put 1 flat here. This is kind of a process video. So grab your guitars, you guys. This is as if you're doing the lesson here. So that's the on top. Here's the 3rd on top. Okay, and here's the 5th on top. These are proper face value drop 2 voicings for F major 7. Again, this is the fun part after you do the routine, is to apply it to your favorite standards. Here's the 7 on top. I could lower the volume if that bothers you. Let me know. So these are all F major 7 inversions, okay? F major 7 with the root on top. The grids for you. F major 7 with the third on top. F major 7 with the fifth on top. That's a beast to play, by the way. That's tricky. And F major 7 with the major 7 on top. Now we're going to go to G7. By the way, that would be this. Okay, and now we're on G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first thing that I'm thinking is, what is my G7 arpeggio? I got to know that. G, B, D, and that's a half note here, and then F. So once I have that mapped out, then I have shapes down, root on top. Just say it faster than I can type it here. Fifth on top. Oh, see, look at that. Oh, B7. Sorry, B natural. This is B7. That's I gotta know what I'm doing. Look at my fat fingers trigger happy. G7 and then G7 here. Man. Type in the comments. I'd like to see if you're just tuning it back. There we go. Look at that. G7 inversions. And I hope you practice with me. This is a little practice session. That's what I'm going to try to make these live streams more of a practice session versus me just talking. This is G. I got to fix this first. And then G7 with the third on top. G7 with the fifth on top. And G7 with the flat 7 on top. Okay. So, there's a lot of things to make sure you learn those shapes, make sure you can spell the chords, play the arpeggio on the first string. Now we're going to do G minor 7. I'm going to do a trick. Check this out. I'm going to copy this. I'm just going to paste it. Bam. But I got to do something here. Oh, wait, what happened there? Something happened. Oh, I got it. Flat third. Flat third. So this is G minor 7. And my third is here. This is G minor 7, third. Take out the name. And I'm going to do, just as a little practice routine here, I'm going to do quarter notes. Let's get rid of that grid. That grid's going to give me trouble already now. It's feisty. G minor 7. Quarter notes. Get rid of this grid. Sound slice. Come on, they don't like me copying and pasting apparently. Look at that. Yeah, it won't let me even do that. So, and I'm going to copy and paste this. Bam. This arpeggio here, G minor 7, has the flats 3, flat 3. Oh, sorry. Where's that flat 3? Please correct me if you see any errors. My proof. I know many of my correct them for me when I have wrong any errors on Patreon. I appreciate that. And then this is going to be G flat 7. And now I'll show you the process again. I'm just going to do quarter notes again. I think I'm just going to type it in. It's faster. So we got the root, we got the third, B flat, we got the fifth, D flat, and we got the flat 7, which is supposed to be called F flat. It's supposed to be called F flat. We just think of it as an E. But don't worry, we're not. Most of you are just but again, it's important to spell it right. So here's G flat 7, G flat 7. I'll play with you. I hope you guys are playing this. This is a little private lesson with me. And then we got the fifth on the top here. And the 8th fret. And then here we've got the what am I doing here? Yeah. We got flat 7 on top. Oh. These are all G flat sevens. Again, that's tritone substitution, if you didn't know that, for C7. Jobim builds that into the composition. And then we have F major 7. And we could do 4, we could do 2. Let's do 4. Again, this is just a good practice session. You might do it super slow, and myself too. And then I'll do the G flat 7s, then copy this. Oh, let me do the G's first. Again, feel free to type in the chat. I'll check it out, see who's here. Hope some Patreon members are joining in, and of course, non-Patreon members, you're welcome too. Hopefully, you will become a Patreon member. If you're not already, join the community where I post new lessons every day. There's over 5,300, probably 5,400 lessons now. New lessons are posted daily, and there's going to be a lot of stuff for you to enjoy working on, and the community is awesome. I've got the best community, I think, in the world. So here is F major. Notice this is, why am I doing it? Why isn't it slow? This is really good for your visualization. And sometimes I'll have to do this too, of course. Like, think about the note and stuff. That's F major 7. And bam, 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 quarter notes too. That's not easy to do. But again, these are all 7s, no 6s. I'll show you some hacks and some subs next time. But right now, we're just going to go through this, and I'll see how popular this is. If it's popular, this topic of the chord inversions, and so leave comments so I know. Then we'll do it through the B section. I already got this documented on Patreon too recently, but I thought I'd just kind of share this process to go through it with you, and it's nice to have that worksheet. And then G flat 7 here. Look at this, copy and paste. Bam, easy. And we can just loop this and practice it with the metronome going up and down, or I could put a backing track to it, which is what I often like to do. I could say practice this 12 times. In the reality, it only goes through once. And then we're at the B section. And then it goes back to the A section. So again, this is an A song form, the A section, but I'll add the B section as well. But if we were to go through it now, I'm going to save this. It would look something like this. G7, minor 7, G flat 7, F major 7, G flat 7. Yeah, that's the study. And then put on the metronome. Click. Count in. We don't need to count in. Put it super slow so you can really do it. And again, this is where it's telling, do you have your inversions down? Major 7 inversions, dominant 7, let alone the pattern, the spelling of it. There's a few things. So please get that PDF, the routine. This is the A section, and then you'll have this sound slice to practice. This will be posted on Patreon. Minor 7, ready? Quarter note. G flat 7. And 7. Back up. Minor 7. Just for practicing purposes, I would then go backwards. 2, soon happens. Etc. That's I just want to go back and forth, put on a backing track, and be able to get that fluidly, so I can just kind of start to improvise with these shapes and ad lib. And this will help you visualize the fretboard. It will help you get your arpeggios and your scales down. Don't neglect your chord studies. It's huge. It's a huge important study. Well, hey, look at who just came. Graham, great to see you. Glad you're alive. Really important to see you. Um, CR, Graham, glad you're working on this. The grip shapes are great for your basic comping and stuff. These are more for chord soloing and chord melody. Super fun. Hey, Rick, welcome. Good to see you. Glad you're here from Cleveland. Well, hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I'll check out to see how popular it is, and I'll do a follow-up going through the B section, which is super fun. G flat major 7. And I shared the video of me going through these on Patreon, but I thought I'd go through the process, which is always kind of fun to check out if you guys like it. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time. Got to get to a private lesson. Cheers.